How to look good at 60. You don't, but we can try. Give up the notion of black hair. You'll look like Gary Glitter, who, as we all know, sits in a Vietnamese prison for soliciting child prostitutes. Facial hair is a plus. It hides the sunken chin and neck waddle. If you're a woman, may the force be with you. Listen to your favorite music, whatever style. Move to the beats, no matter how awkward or white you feel. Write poems as you walk, flow to the rhythm of your feet, or perfect that $1 million idea you've been keeping from the world.
At 60, Danny Schott's first full-length book of poems has just been published by CavanKerry Press. The book launch for Works was at the Hoboken Historical Museum.
I love the cover. I love the poems.
Alicia Ostriker is a well-known poet, now a chancellor of the American Academy of Poets.
But here's what I wrote for the cover of Works. Danny Schott's unmistakable voice. That's true, right? You would recognize his human voice and his written voice anywhere. He's down to earth. He's funny, and inside every one of his poems there is heart, there is feeling. And not all comedy has the sweetness and the heart and the love that is in Danny's poetry.
His work's been out there for a long time, but this is his first, this is a great joy for me to see his first book coming out.
Eliot and Danny met as freshmen at Rutgers. They lived across the hall.
When we started writing poetry, we weren't that good yet, but we thought we were good enough to start doing readings. So our first reading we did in the lounge of a Rutgers dormitory.
After graduating, Eliot and Danny founded Longshot. It became a widely read and respected poetry magazine.
We had a run of over 20 years. The way we started was with help from Allen Ginsberg. We read at Rutgers in the multipurpose room there, and he just split the door with us. And that was enough money to publish our first book. Eliot worked in a print shop then, so it was very doable. And over the years, we got a real great collection of American poets. We got most of the beats. We have Allen Ginsberg, Gregory Corso, Lawrence Ferlinghetti, the older generation. Also, Charles Bukowski was a very generous contributor to us. Amiri Baraka. The last days of the beat generation can be documented in Longshot pretty well, probably.
Danny doesn't think of himself as a beat poet, but the beats were why he became one.
I'd have to say if it's one thing that made me do it, it was reading the poem Howl. And just reading Howl was like, wow, this can be poetry? I thought poetry was something else.
I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves through the Negro streets at dawn looking for an angry fix.
The other thing when I realized it that made me fall in love with the beats was Patti Smith. Her first album came out my freshman year of college, and it was just so different from everything else.
Jesus died for somebody's sins, but not mine.
And of course, the beats were very big in her things.
Danny Schott, like both Patti Smith and Allen Ginsberg, is part of a long tradition of poets calling New Jersey home.
How to write the great Jersey poem. Start in the Meadowlands, or the Turnpike, or on the Turnpike driving through the Meadowlands, in a car, a fast car with a broken muffler and faulty air conditioner. Wind up down the shore after sundown, listening to a bar band, drinking beer in a plastic cup. Have a secret rendezvous with a beautiful girl or boy, your choice. Born to Run plays in the background, or Sandy, or My Way, anything but New York, New York. Working class roots must be explored in depth. Factory work, waitressing while attending state college, convenience store clerkery, and drunken poetry readings in extraterrestrial bars, topics worthy of consideration.
Danny's lived in Hoboken for over 30 years. During most of that time, he taught high school English in the South Bronx, Harlem, and Brooklyn. It was a job he loved. During all this time, he's been writing about the world he lives in, for better and for worse. This poem is about his hometown, Hoboken.
Give us back our town, consumed by developers, politicians, realtors, and youthful packs of clones. You have taken it away, piece by piece, and I want it back. You gave us yuppies with money and bankers in training. You won't go away, will you? I was talking about how Hoboken used to be. I sounded like an old man, to myself.
Issa Sow is a friend of Danny's. He's an artist from Senegal and runs a gallery in Hoboken.
So we came up with this idea to bring artists, poets, musicians together.
Issa and Danny run One Art, a monthly event taking place in the Asira Gallery of African Art.
And we've been very successful.
Everybody have a role in life, every single human being. And the role is not just negative. It can be fantastic and can be magical, because we are magic. And then you have the magic to bring people together.
Visit neighborhoods you haven't set foot in years. Guess what? They change. Even if your hearing or sight isn't what it once was, listen with fresh ears. See with open eyes. Believe me, you haven't seen it all. Most importantly, don't forget to breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. There. Looking good. Thank you, everybody.